Okay, so we're going to do electron configuration level 1, and in this video we're actually going to do the orbital electron configuration, which is where we're actually using the arrows. The arrows representing the electrons, and we're also going to be representing our different orbitals and our sublevels SPDF. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. We're going to start off with chlorine. Again, there's a couple of things that I have handy with me, and it's my diagram that I have from the notes. It's color coordinated, so you know that the first two columns, which is the hydrogen, alkaline metals, and your alkaline earth metals, along with helium, are all your S's. Your transition metals are all in the middle, which are your D's. From the boron family all the way to the noble gas family is all your P, this whole entire square. And then your inner transition metals, which are on the two rows on the bottom, are your F's. Now what I did is I color coordinated my periodic table to go along with it. That way you can actually see where everything's going. I also have a lovely little bean, which is going to be used so I can actually have a marker so we'll know where we're at on the periodic table. All right, let's begin. So our first one is going to be chlorine. Chlorine on the periodic table is located right here. So the first thing that we're going to do is always remember that the first number, in other words, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all these period numbers right here. Okay, so those are the numbers we'll be using. Always start, since this is part of the long hand configuration, you're always going to start with hydrogen. So I'm going to start off with hydrogen. I'm at the 1s, right? These first two columns are my 1s's. So I'm going to say first energy level, 1. My sublevel is going to be my S. I have to go through hydrogen and helium in order to read this. You're going left to right. Once you finish the sentence, I guess you could say, then you can go on to the next energy level. Okay, so I have to go through 1S, and this is the first one. This is my second one. So reading left to right, 1S. And I'm going to put 1s2. So let's write it. I'm going to write it to the side. So this is my 1s2. I went through two elements in order to get to that one end. Now that I'm finished here, I go to my second energy level. I'm still in the S's. I have to cross over lithium and beryllium. Once I get to this other side, it changes color, meaning that this is my 2s2. So let me write that down. 2s2. And then I walk myself straight across. Again, reading this like a book. 2s2. Now I'm on my P, still on my second energy level, 2P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2P6. So let me write that down. All right, now that I'm finished with that, now I can go to my third energy level. Again, this is my yellow. That means I'm still in the S's. I have to cross over sodium and magnesium in order to get the chlorine. So there I'm going to say 3s2. Oops. So 3s2. Okay. I'm going to go straight across. And straight across to my still third energy level, but now I'm in my P section. So it's going to be 3P. I'm going to count all the way to chlorine, even counting chlorine here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be 3p5. Okay, so now that we've gotten to my chlorine, now I can put it on our handout as it is on here. So I'm going to move this over a little bit, and I'm going to just write down my first energy level, or my first one was the 1s. Now the 1s is going to have only one orbital. Up, down, okay. Oops. Move this out of the way so I can put it down here, 1s2. The next one that we were dealing with was my 2p6. So I'm going to write 2, oops, sorry, my 2s2. Didn't mean to say that. So 2s2. Again, we're going in the reading it left to right. Again, the arrows are indicated by how many arrows I'm going to use is through the superscript there. So that's 2s2. That means 1 up, 1 down. The next one was following that was my 2p6. Now on your p's, you have to remember p's have 3 orbitals. Now, how do we know how many orbitals there are? You have to remember that electrons can only exist in pairs. Why? Because electrons are negatively charged, and typically you think of it as a magnet. Negatively charged particles of the same charge, I guess you have 2 negatively charged particles, are going to want to repel one another. Now, since we have one electron moving in the northward direction, and then the other one going southern, then that repulsion force is not as strong. Now, they'd rather be by themselves. So when we put in 2p6, I'm going to write it up, up, up. Hund's rule says put 1 in each room, and unless they have to be paired up. And since I have 6 of them, I have to put down, down, down. Keep doing this over and over again in that manner, and it will be a lot easier for you. You won't forget to how to actually organize it. The next one we did was the 3s2, so we're going to put 3s2. Again, the s orbitals have only, the s sublevels only have 1 orbital, so we're going to have up, down. And then the last but not least was my 3p5. Again, the p sublevel has 3 orbitals, 1, 2, 3, 3p5. Now I'm going to say up, 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 that's 3, down and down, that's 5. So we have one that's not actually paired up. So this is how you do chlorine. Let's go on to the next one, which would be nitrogen. In our nitrogen, I'm going to bring back my periodic table here. Nitrogen is going to be right here. So I'm going to put that right there. Again, first energy level right here. I'm going to start off with hydrogen, read it from left to right, so 1s1. Now I move it straight across. I cross over the helium, so that gives me 1s2. Okay, still not at, nitrogen yet. This is nitrogen. I'm going to go to my second energy level. I have to cross over lithium and beryllium to get to nitrogen, so that's going to give me 2s2. Put that right there. I have to go all the way across to my 2p, because it's still in the second energy level, 2p, and we're counting 1, 2, 3. So we're going to write 2p3. So that's for nitrogen. Now again, we have to do it in order. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So let me move this out of the way so we can write it down. Bring this over. So we're writing 1s2, which was the first one that we went through. Again, the s sublevel has only one orbital. We have 2 electrons, so I'm going to put 1 up, 1 down. The next one we went through would be my 2s2. S sublevel has only one orbital, so we're going to put 2s2 like this. I have 2 electrons, up, down. And the last one we went to was my 2p3. Again, the p sublevel has 3 orbitals, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Write my 2p3 right here. I'm going to say up, 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 since I only have 3. Now, again, this is the correct way of doing this. What if we were not sure? We want to double check if we're actually doing these correctly. So just to double check, if I add 2 plus 2, that's 4, plus 3 is 7. And if I look back at nitrogen here, nitrogen is number 7 on the periodic table. This is the neutral, so atomic number equals the number of protons, which equals the number of electrons in a neutral atom. So since there's 7 here, that means I have 7 electrons. And again, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So we're in the right direction. All right, so let's move along. We're going to go on to aluminum. Aluminum on here is right here, located. Okay, and just like we said before, we're going to start from the beginning. So starting from the beginning, hydrogen, energy level 1. We are going to go from 1s, and I have to count cross over hydrogen all the way to helium, so that is going to be 1s2. Oops. 1s2 right there. Then I'm going to, now that I finished here, I can go on to my second energy level, 2. Again, this is still my S. I have to cross over lithium and beryllium to get to all the way to aluminum. So I'm going to say 2s2. And then go across. All right, still in the second energy level, but now I'm in my P's. I have to cross over boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. So that's going to be giving me 2p6. All right. Now that I finished the second energy level, now I can go to my third. My third energy level, I have to cross over sodium and magnesium to get to aluminum, so that'll be giving me 3s2. Cross on over. And I end up on the third energy level, P subsection. It's my first one, so I'm going to say 3p1. I'll put it right there. All right, so 3p1. So in order is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and 3p1. So let's write this down. aluminum. First one, 1s2. Again, the S sublevel has only one orbital, so we draw that one orbital. 1s2. Up, down, 2 electrons. Move that to the side. Next one is your 2s2. S's have only one orbital. 2s2. I have 2 electrons, so up, down. Move that on to the side. Next one would be my 2p6. Again, the p sublevel has 3 orbitals, so 1, 2, 3. 2p6. Up, up, up. That's 3. Down, down, down. That's 6. Next would be my 3s2. S sublevels have only one orbital, so 3s2. Up, down. And my last but not least, my 3p1. Even though we only have one here, we're still showing all 3 orbitals. 1, 2, 3. That is the correct way of doing it, and I just have one arrow. There you go. Okay, again, let's double check ourselves. Aluminum was number 13 on the periodic table, the atomic number 13. So that means I have 13 protons. I should have 13 electrons in a neutral atom. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So we're correct. All right, last one on this page is going to be oxygen. Move this over. I'm going to look at this. Again, search for oxygen. Oxygen's right here. Start from the beginning. Beginning would be hydrogen. 1s. We're going to go straight across. Cross over hydrogen to helium so I can go to my next energy level. And that's going to give me 1s2. Now that I finished the first energy level, now I can go to my second. Still in the s orbitals here, I have to cross over lithium and beryllium, so that's going to give me 2s2. And walk it on over. Still in the second energy level, but now I'm in my p's. So 2p, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2p4, I'm going to write that down. Is where I'm ending at. There's my bean, there's my 2p4. All right, so how do we read this? 1s2, 2s2, and 2p4. So this is the order, okay? Let me move this out of the way, finish up the last one for you. So 1s2, again, the s sublevel has only one orbital. I have 2 electrons. Up, down. Next one following is my 2s2, s sublevel, 1 orbital, 2s2, 2 electrons. Up, down. Last one was my 2p4. P sublevel has 3 orbitals. 1, 2, 3. 4 electrons, so up, 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 and down. Let's double check ourselves. We are oxygen. Oxygen's number 8 on the periodic table, atomic number. Okay, so that means I have 8 protons, and in a neutral atom we have 8 protons equals your 8 electrons. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 8, plus 4 is 8. So we have the correct electron configuration. Okay, so that's the end for electron configuration level 1. Until next time, thank you.